Athina Onassis isn't just the granddaughter of billionaire shipping mogul Aristotle Onassis, she's also the only surviving descendant. But even as rich and famous as her granddad was, Athina chooses to live a quiet and secretive life. The question is, why? To have a better understanding of the life of Athina Onassis, we have to retrace her steps to the very beginning. Athina was born Athina Helene Onassis in Neuilly-sur-Seine, France. Her mother, Christina Onassis, was the only daughter of Athina's wealthy grandfather, Aristotle, and she married a Frenchman named Thierry Roussel. Interestingly, Christina didn't have much luck when it came to love and marriages, as Thierry happened to be the fourth husband in her troubled life. And even though she was a successful woman in her own right, her marriage to Thierry would only last for 3 years between 1984 and 1987, which was the year they divorced. Sadly, after the divorce, tragedy struck the Onassis family as Christina died the following year in 1988. At this time, Athina was just 3 years old, but circumstances surrounding her mother's death flung her into the spotlight at a very young age. Athina's father, her mother's ex-husband Thierry, took Athina in to raise her. However, Thierry had married another wife, a Swedish model named Marianne Landage. This new family setting would end up being a bit complicated for Athina, as her stepmom had 3 children for her father, which meant Athina now had 3 half-siblings to contend with and navigate around the Onassis legacy. But even though life had made her upbringing more complicated than she bargained for, Athina managed to pass through the expected steps as far as growing up was concerned. She attended a school in Lucé-sur-Meurthe, Switzerland, where her father, his new wife, and 3 children resided. After that, Athina moved to Brussels to get her preparatory education, after which she passed her baccalaureate exam in 2003. This goes to show that even with all the wealth Athina's family had, she still had a traditional upbringing, just as any other child her age. Her educational background and her academic success was also a testament to how much she wanted to preserve her family's heritage of excellence. But while Athina was very good academically, she slowly developed a passion for sports, most notably equestrian sports. Right from when she was a child, Athina had always loved riding horses, and it was that love that would drive her to pursue a career in equestrian. As fate would have it, that was something she was really good at, and it didn't take long before she began participating in international competitions like the Global Champions Tour. But it wasn't until 2001 that she finally got some recognition, not as the granddaughter of a famous billionaire, but as a horseback rider. Her breakthrough moment came in a competition in Spain where she finished second. Since then, she has represented her home country, Greece, at international competitions, including the World Championships and the European Show Jumping Championships. But her love for equestrianism was so strong that she refused to be limited to participating in competitions alone. She took things a step further by establishing the Athina Onassis International Horse Show in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And as the competition began gaining popularity, it started spreading to other prestigious locations such as Pampelonne Beach in Saint-Tropez. Now, with her status as a patron of the Global Champions Tour, Athina Onassis cemented her place in the world of equestrian sports. She never relented in using her wealth and influence to contribute to its development and to sponsor equestrian events. So, with a respected family name, a solid educational background, and a stake in the equestrian community, all that was missing in Athina's life was love. But it was only a matter of time before she met a man that would eventually win her heart. That man was none other than Brazilian show jumper Álvaro de Miranda Neto. Now, I can't say for sure when Athina and Álvaro met, but the couple officially began dating in 2003. 2 years later, in 2005, they decided to take things further by getting married. But this was no ordinary wedding. It was extremely lavish and was attended by the who's who of Brazil and the equestrian community. The most important and affluent people showed up to the occasion. However, there were 2 people who were notably absent at the event and raised eyebrows and speculation. The people I'm talking about are Athina's father, Thierry Roussel, and her stepmother, Marianne Landage. Although no one knows for sure why they weren't at Athina's wedding, it is speculated that there were rifts between Athina and her father at the time. A likely reason for this rift is Athina refusing to bear her father's surname, Roussel, and choosing to bear her grandfather's last name instead. Another possible reason for Thierry's absence are the controversies surrounding Athina's inheritance from her mother Christina, who is Thierry's ex-wife. But regardless of the reasons for their absence, that would not be Athina's major concern at the time, because not long after her marriage to Alvaro, the union began to shake as it faced many challenges along the way. One of the biggest problems with Athina's marriage was alleged infidelity on the part of her husband Alvaro. This would drag into 2016, and since the couple could not reach a resolution, separation was inevitable. And after a whirlwind divorce process that included disputes over jointly owned horses and prenuptial agreements, the divorce was finalized in 2017. Athina had now become single. But interestingly, she and Alvaro had no children together. After the divorce, Athina had no choice but to navigate life after marriage on her own, while managing the complexities of the Onassis family legacy. One of her first moves was to move back to her country of origin, Greece. She did this to escape the eye of the public and media circus her life had begun turning into. Since then, Athina rarely attends public occasions. She became so reserved and introverted that seeing her was as rare as seeing a blue moon. Of course, this level of secrecy can only fuel speculation about the status of her mental health and her private life in general. In fact, Athina has become so secretive that information about where she lives in Greece isn't even public knowledge. But even though Athina has chosen to be discreet and off the radar, one thing we know for sure is that she still has a strong passion for equestrian sports. In fact, most of the rare public appearances she makes revolve around the sport, and this shows that despite life's heartbreaks, Athina still has one thing she loves more than anything else: horseback riding. Till this day, she continues to run Ad Sport Horses, which is a horse breeding and training business she started with her ex-husband, Alvaro de Miranda Neto. To Athina's credit, the business has been very successful, but still, that isn't where the bulk of her net worth comes from. Forbes has described Athina Onassis as one of the richest women in the world. She is the sole heiress of Christina Onassis, who inherited 55% of Aristotle Onassis' estate. The other 45% was given to the Alexander S. Onassis Foundation in honor of Athina's uncle who died in 1973. For now, no one can say exactly how wealthy Athina Onassis is. Some have speculated that she's worth over $1 billion, while some speculate that her net worth runs into the hundreds of millions. The New York Times once cited Athina as a billionaire, and this could be a lot more when you consider the sale of her family's private island. The island, known as Scorpios, was sold to a Russian businesswoman, Yekaterina Ryblovleva, for $153 million. And Athina, being the sole surviving Onassis on Earth, would have enjoyed most of the proceeds. But this is not to say controlling the family estate was without its challenges. After Athina's mother died, the management of her inheritance has seen a lot of conflict. Christina Onassis had stated in the past that she did not trust her husband, Thierry Roussel, and this led to the creation of a board to manage Athina's inheritance until she came of age. As you would expect, this did not go well with Thierry, and it caused tension between him and his daughter Athina after Christina passed away. For Thierry, one of the most frustrating aspects of Athina's inheritance was that the board had to approve every expenditure on her behalf. This made Thierry feel powerless in the affairs of his own daughter. Who knows? The rift between Athina and her father might have been the real reason he didn't show up at her wedding. All the same, Athina's inheritance was later transferred to an auditing firm called KPMG Fides in 1999 on the order of a Vaduz court. These complexities were not easy for a young Athina to deal with. In fact, when she was 13 years old, she made her true feelings known about being an Onassis. She said that she felt great aversion to anything Greek. This clearly showed how much emotional weight she was carrying at the time, thanks to her family's legacy and the expectations that came with it. Fast forward to age 18, and Athina had gained control of her mother's inheritance. She later tried to assume the presidency of the Onassis Foundation, but even with her rightful claim, her ambitions were met with some resistance from the board. Their argument was that Athina lacked any real connection to Greek culture, as she spent most of her life away from her homeland. The board also argued that Athina didn't have the experience needed to effectively manage the Onassis estate. As for what the future holds for Athina Onassis, only time will tell. For now, she continues to maintain her confidentiality, which has led to more speculations about not just her plans for the future, but also about her mental well-being. For now, Athina is still single and has not remarried since divorcing Alvaro. However, there were rumors in 2017 that she was dating an Italian businessman and show jumper Alberto Zorzi. Unfortunately, that didn't lead to marriage. Now, given how private and secretive Athina has become, we might never know when and if she gets romantically involved with someone else. Unless there's a major announcement from Athina herself, then everything about remarrying remains speculation. As for children, Athina still doesn't have any. But she's just 39 years old, so there's plenty of time for her to continue the Onassis legacy by birthing. If this ever happens, Athina will no longer be the last surviving member of the Onassis family. As it stands, one thing we can be sure of is that Athina is still a big equestrian supporter, and she'll continue to dedicate her time and money to its development. To sum it up, Athina Onassis' life is a complex mix of wealth, legacy, and personal challenges. Being the last surviving heir of the Onassis dynasty, she's carrying the weight of her family's history while trying to carve out her own identity. Besides her personal life, managing the family wealth hasn't been easy, especially with the resistance she's facing from the board of her family's very own foundation. We can assume that becoming president of the board is still among her wishes, but that can only come true if the board succumbs. All the same, Athina Onassis remains an enigmatic figure, representing not only the richness of her family's legacy, but also the complexities of living in that shadow. As she continues to pursue her passions and maintain her privacy, we will continue to watch and speculate about her future, hoping to catch a glimpse of the woman behind the famous Onassis name. Now, head to the comments and let us know your thoughts on Athina Onassis. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories on wealth and luxury.